Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Just kidding, but hello. We're here for week 3. Also, if you would notice, this is a paw print of my dog. It's very cute. It's very fall. It's very beautiful. Anyways, on a pumpkin, mind you, that's why it's orange. What are we doing today? Well, why don't I tell you? Here's some inspiration images. Corpse Bride. So I've been trying to do the Corpse Bride for years. Mind you, last year I did a vote and people voted for Sally instead of the Corpse Bride, but I've decided this year what we're doing, and I've decided on the Corpse Bride. Plus, I ordered a wig and it came with like a bunch of extra things, like a little like veil and like a flower crown. Who would have thunk it? One wig came with all that? I wasn't ready. It also came with a really good ball, like wig cap. Anyways, I hope the wig turns out great. Then I can recommend it to you. Maybe I'll link it if you're into it. Anyways, if I remember, I'll link it down below. But yeah, so this is another one where I have to block out my brows. Not really my favorite, but I do have to do that. So since I showed you last week how to block out your brows, if you would like to go review that video, feel free. But I just want to give you a bit of an intro and then we'll worry about the makeup. But I mean, since you're here talking to me and you're listening so intently, you beautiful, beautiful human, why don't you like this video? Why don't you comment your favorite look I've done this year so far? Or even out of all the looks I've done. If you haven't seen others, I have a whole playlist of my Halloween looks, so you should go back and watch. But let me know which one's your favorite and subscribe, because I have one more look this year and it is the gory special effects look. So I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited about it. Anyways, let me go glue my eyebrows, cover them up with concealer and foundation and look fucking insane. Then we'll be back, okay? To paint our face blue. Starting off strong today. All right, see you in a bit. Well, I've lost my eyebrows and I have drawn on a thinner neck like I did last year for Sally. And I've also kind of drawn some things on my cheeks where I can hopefully thin out my face a little bit, kind of just like hide all this in the back. Got hair on me, I can feel it. Anyways, I've also done a little outline of where I want the eyebrows. I have a little slit according to the inspiration image I am using that I would have a nice little fun time creating over here. And then, yeah, so we should get started on some blue, I think. So the blues I have here are like a teal and a dark blue. So I think I'm gonna use more teal than dark blue. And then, or not even teal, maybe like aqua. That's a lot of color. That's a ton. I might have taken too much. Someday I'm gonna have to repurchase like this palette and it's gonna be a sad day for me. All right, let me just kind of mix this together. I'm doing a lot of color mixing this year. I don't remember color mixing as much in the years past. I wonder if I just used, I don't remember. I'll have to go back and look and see if I just used like whatever kind of came in the palette. Like maybe I did my Sally just the plain blue color. I don't know. It's like I want to make it harder on myself, you know? And I didn't give you a time check when I started, but it was about 4. It was about 9 o'clock. It is currently 9:36, so not too bad. There's not as many like crazy details and things to do here today, luckily. Hopefully we can be done at a reasonable hour. There is a hair in that, and I mean it this time. I mean, since I got some on my finger, might as well test it out, right? That's a good color. Ooh, that's exciting. Okay, well, might as well put it on our face. We have all sorts of it. So we'll just start with some little chunks of color. I also kind of marked out my eyeballs. I want them to be big and round and white, so we don't want to go too crazy with accidentally getting color all over those. So I did mark that out a little bit. All right, well, guess we're gonna start blending. So I haven't actually used this brush once this year. I was going to use it today, but it's still stained orange, and the only problem is that blue and orange are complementary colors. If I were to use this orange brush on the blue, I would be worried about turning it a little bit more muddy and brown. So I'm going to be using the same brush I've been using. This is the e.l.f. Airbrush Blender. Because it already has green and purple, those are already cool tone colors, I'm not as nervous about using that to blend my blue. So let's get started on that. The colors are slowly coming out after many a wash. But I'm just gonna gently start blending this out all over the face. So there's not much really to see. So maybe I will. Maybe I'll see you in a bit. Why, hello there. Yeah, it's fine. Anyways, what are we doing? We're taking this little pointed foundation brush from Real Techniques and we're gonna start putting that in our little blacked out areas. I was debating doing this with the water activated, but I think what I'm gonna do instead is I am going to do it with the cream paint and then I'll set it really good with maybe like a black shadow or even just the standard powder. I don't want to mix the black into the blue. I was debating for a brief moment there, setting the blue before I did the black, but I didn't want to screw up the black part. This is when you start to get that illusion that your neck is super thin and super long, right? So that's kind of what we're going for here. It's quite fun. This is like my favorite thing to do. I did it with the zombie a little bit as well. It's just a really fun little detail to include. But what have I been up to in the last week, you ask? Great question. You didn't ask, but I've decided you did. But let me do this because I can't really see that from where I am and I want to make sure I give the full illusion. Would you look at that? It's like it never happened. So I coach my daughter's soccer team because I played soccer growing up and I love the sport very much. Coached her for years at this point. However, I had my first quite negative parent interaction. So that was a bummer. And then I had our first playoff game. So this is my first year coaching competitive soccer. Now, I am a competitive girl. I like to win. And I really, really, really care about the kids working hard and being, the best they can be. And I don't mind if that doesn't mean they're the best player on the field. I just care that every time they go out onto the field, they try as hard as their skill allows them to, and they never give up, and they hustle, and they are just, all around caring, kind, and the work ethic is good, right? But the season, we ended up coming in 4th out of 5 teams, but every single game was so close, right? Like we would lose a game 1-0 all the time. One time we even lost a game and it was literally the ball went in our net, like the other team scored, and then the ref blew the whistle. It was the most infuriating thing. We've done a really good job. So we won our first game, our first playoff game, and now this next game we get to play on Saturday. We get to play the best team, the first place team. But can I be honest with you? I don't know why they keep winning so much. Like I genuinely think, obviously they must have talent. There's not any particular kid on their team that I'm like, oh, that's the reason they're winning, right? Like they don't have any of those players. I think they just might work really well together, which is great. But I think we can beat them. And if we do, we're the 4th place team. So if we beat them, talk about an upset, right? Like, holy cow, that would be so fun to just have that moment with those kids. They'd be so proud of themselves and so happy, and all like the hard work they've been putting in will have been like for something, And I think that would be really, really awesome. So this mom and I had an interaction where her friend, after a game, came up to me. The mom was asking why her daughter didn't play as much. I said she played just as much as everybody else. She was like, no, she didn't. I was like, well, she did. Like, she played. I subbed her in every time I subbed everybody else out and like in. And she was like, well, she didn't, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. Well, I was already pissed because that game, the ref did such a shitty job that like we should have won, but instead we tied and I was upset and mad. And so I was like, you know what? I actually don't want to have this conversation. So I'm going to go. And her friend was like, no, you're not. And I was like, oh, yeah, I am. Like, I'm done with this chat, right? and her friend started yelling at me, tried to follow me off the field, like scaring my child. I was very, 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 very mad. The woman has since, that was the last game of the season. So on Monday, before a playoff game, she pulled her daughter from the program and no longer wants to be on my team. But she also sent an email saying that she hopes that her daughter can have a better coach next year or next season. Let me tell you a little secret, okay? My little petty self is like, oh, better coach? Watch us win the freaking championship and tell me who's the better coach now. Bet you'll regret pulling her from the team when we end up winning the whole thing. Like, do I want to deal with that kind of stress? Absolutely not. Am I fine with them choosing to remove themselves because they're not happy that I don't, prioritize only her daughter and make her daughter do get all of whatever her mom asks for her and all that? No, I don't. Honestly, that kind of negativity and added stress, kind of happy to not have it anymore. But would it be really, really, really fun to win everything? And then have it be like this big thing of like, oh, you complained to Parks and Rec that I'm a terrible coach, that I'm mean, that I'm not nice to the kids, that your daughter is supposedly scared of me, all this negative stuff. And then we go and we win the whole damn thing. And that would be the sweet, sweet vengeance that I crave in my heart and soul. I'll have to update you next time, next video, on how we end up doing, but I think we can win. I really do. I think we can win. Let me real quick, it's gonna be so patchy as hell, but I'm gonna take some of this white and try to put it on my under eyes, like this circle that I made. It's hard. White is real patchy whenever I do this, but it's okay. It's also gonna mix in with my concealer and foundation a bit, but what are you gonna do? Gotta do what you gotta do, Let me powder my face real quick off camera, because who wants to look at me powdering my face? It's not that exciting. And then I will come back and we can do some of the painting. I think we will maybe start with the eyes, and then I'll add the eyebrows on, and then kind of work our way. There's some shading and contouring that needs to happen. This look isn't as detailed, thank goodness. Maybe I can go to bed at a reasonable hour tonight. We'll find out. There is powder everywhere. It is in my eyeballs. It's all over my desk. The whole desk is powder now. There's so much. It was all over me. It still is. It's all over my chair. There's just so much powder. This is still not really set, but I'm not gonna mess with it anymore because the black eyeshadow is a wee bit scary, and I was using the paintbrush that I already used to paint, so it's fine. But what I would like to do is I'd like to take a nice little blue shade that I've got in here, and I would like to start to do some of the contouring along just my chest area, just to kind of create that sunken vibe. This is just a random blue shadow because I don't want to tell you the person that collabed to make this palette because they're a turd. But it is a Morphe X palette. Best I can do. All right, so I'm just going to very gently do some of this around my collarbone. Just really accentuate the bones. I'm just following my natural collarbone. You can already see it kind of coming out a little bit here. I'm going to try and do a little bit more up here. The effect is really coming across on there, more than in real life, honestly, but that's okay, as long as it comes across, One thing I do kind of want to do though, just to make it a little bit more prominent, I'm going to take up this little fluffy eyeshadow brush and just kind of deposit this blue a little bit more concentrated right on the lines where the blend starts. It's fine. Stop obsessing over it, Caitlin. It's not a big deal. Okay. I'm going to now take this brush. I'm going to contour my cheeks and maybe do a little bit of eye contour, just kind of help us start off, and then we'll start with the eyes. So we want to look really hollow. So I need to kind of follow my natural cheekbone, but just really, really exaggerate it. We're going for dead. So I tried to contour my nose. Nose contour is not my strong suit, but we're doing our best. And now I'm working on the eyes. I just started to do like an outer circle shape with some shadow. I'm actually going to take the same brush and we're just gonna start working on like an actual eyeshadow look, right? Because I want to kind of give like a bit of like a smokiness that kind of works its way all the way up and around. I'm taking my like mid-tone blue. So in this palette, there are a couple blues, right? So I'm using this darker one as like the deepest shade of contour, and then this is like my mid-tone. It's still pretty dark though, you can see it. So we're just kind of working it around, creating a bit of a smoky eye, utilizing this dark shade. I'm actually gonna take this blue and put it all over my lid. Since I didn't put paint down there, I'm nervous it's going to be a bit stark between the difference of my lid and the upper part of the eye where the blue kind of stopped. And so I just kind of want to balance it out and then we can continue to darken it up. I just need a little bit of color to kind of help me out here. Similarly, I need to take a small detail brush and start smoking out this lower lash line that we're kind of creating, right? This needs to be touched up before we're done, but I'm working on the eyes. I'm trying to create like these big circular eyes, right? But I want to do liner. I want to do lashes. I want to just like make this like a full moment, you know? So real quick though, before we get too crazy, I was trying to take this light blue shimmer right here and put it all over my lids to give like an accent or like a pop. It's not quite as bright right now, so maybe we'll just do it again together. So as you can see, I've tried to create a new eye shape, right? So this is now my new crease, this like higher up area. And then this is my new lower lash, right? So that's kind of what we're working with. The intention right now, I'm going to start by doing liner on the top lid. And then I'm actually going to have it follow my white and draw in some lashes because I'm not gonna be able to put fake lashes down there because I don't have lower lash falsies. So let me line the top lid real quick. You're not gonna be able to see that because I have to get close, but I just wanted to give you an update on what I'm doing. Okay, I made it a little thick. I might try to real quick before I add the lower lashes and kind of screw that up or make it impossible for me to blend more. I'm gonna take some of my darkest blue, mix it with a little bit of black, and I'm actually going to try to blend these edges a hair. The beauty of this not being paint is that I can actually kind of blend it more aggressively on top and it's not really smudging because it is a dried down eyeliner. I mean, good enough, right? Like it's not gonna be perfect. I need to accept my fate. Now real quick, I'm going to try and draw in some lashes. I'm gonna I think I wanna just like take a second and do the other eye off camera, not stress about being in frame as much, but this is kind of where we're at. When I come back, we're gonna have our eyes on, and I believe the next step will be, we'll work on our little cut here, we'll do our eyebrows, our lips, and then we'll Ann touch this up, and then we'll actually be done. It's only 11:43. I don't wanna jinx myself, but maybe I'll be done before 2 o'clock today. I don't know. That might be ambitious, but I'm feeling optimistic. So I'll BRB. Alrighty. I think the only problem is these being so low, my nose looks like it's really close to my eyeballs, but that's okay. I need to now take out my paint and we're gonna have to I put eyelashes on, but I put them on so bad because I wasn't really paying attention. I was kind of moving fast. We're gonna take our paint out and we are going to do some eyebrows. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna make a concoction. I'm gonna add some blue to it too. It feels right. So with the Mehron paints, you can totally mix. I actually like to mix, I'll show you in a second, on the cover here. And just give me 1 second. I just wanna get some paint out of this blue without mixing in too much black. So right here, you can kind of see I'm like mixing a color at the top here, and then I can keep using that. I'll wipe it off at the end and I'll get rid of it. But for now, let's start here. I still have my little white dots of where I wanted the eyebrows to be. All right, we have one brow. The only thing is that there's a little section that doesn't really want to take pigment right now, which is fine. I mean, I'd rather it took the pigment, but maybe I can go in and touch it up in a second once it dries. And I'm gonna take the other one now and try to kind of do a similar thing. So now I want to work on this a little bit. I'd like to add some like gray, white-ish highlights. Okay. So I did that. I'm actually going to take the smallest amount of white. My gosh, you can tell the bottom of this cup is like stained black because every time I dip my brush in there, it comes out black. I'm going to take a small amount of white, just like a small, kind of hit it on certain points where it might be highlighted a hair. I'm actually dabbing my brush off and kind of blending that into my gray just a little bit. Crazy. Okay, there's my little cut. And now I'm going to do my lips, which are like a fun little pinky purpley color, almost like a dead purpley. I wonder if I can mix my little like light purple, because I have this light purple and then this pink. I wonder if I can mix a like dead looking purple. I'm gonna use my itty bitty brush. I'm gonna take, let me show you this in real time. So we're gonna dip this onto the Mehron palette. Sorry, I'm turning my head, so if the volume is a little rough, I'm sorry. I just wanna see what I'm doing. Okay, I add it up here. Add some more water. Okay, now I take the purple with a clean, or sorry, the pink with a clean brush. And then I'm trying to kind of make a color, right? And that's a little mixed color. So now I'm gonna take that on my brush and I'm going to add that to my lips. I mean, it'd be great to not have the blue under, but I wonder if that'll actually help make it a little bit more deadly. I also need to overline to an extreme. I added some of this purple, which I might actually add just a hair more. I can't like rub this on the bottom or it'll get all black, yeah? I even hand washed this with like a scrubby brush on the bottom of this cup and it's still freaking purple. I mean black. Oh God. It's getting really bad. I'm overdoing it. So what's funny is like from afar, I look much better than I do close up. Like I look ridiculous close up, but it's fine. I mean, honestly, I'm looking at a viewfinder that's this big. So realistically, I could look terrible even close up. I would never know. You know, I would just never know. I do think I am going to try and do some fun little like Cupid's bow highlighting. I'm going to do some shading on this to try and see if I can get like a fun little cut looking. And then by the time I come back, I will be fully done. You can really see how like not even this is, but it's fine. I'm going to take some of this and just like, but it's fine. Either way, I'm going to go off and finish this and then I'll come back and everything will be on and we'll talk about it. So, BRB. I look like a psychopath. Should I zoom you out so you can see a little bit better? Because this came with a full setup. I know I said that earlier. I don't know if you understood what I meant. It came with a full getup. Like, it came with the wig cap. It came with, obviously, the wig. It came with the flower crown. It came with the veil. Like, this is a costume now, right? Like, I look like a full-blown Tim Burton character. Mind you, if you look at me up close and personal in real life, I do not look like a Tim Burton character. In this small format, and if you squint, I look like a Tim Burton character, right? Like, anyways, should I do a montage? This is actually my last face paint look of this Halloween year. Now, Do I think I ended with my best look? No. Do I think I ended with a cool look? It has like the most, I don't want to say end, let me say ended the face painting portion of Halloween month. I'd say the full send, that's what's getting me, right? Like the full getup. There's one wig coming with all these pieces, including the veil, is unreal. I don't even know how much it costs. I really need to link it for you, because like if you want to do a corpse bride thing, holy cow, it probably was like 20 bucks. I mean, do I know how to properly use wigs? Absolutely not. Could I like probably have baby powdered this and made it less shiny and all that jazz? For sure. Do I know how? Also no. All this hair is coming out. Blue hair. It's gonna be everywhere. Am I in my blue hair era now? Maybe. This is like long girl moment. It's touching my like my little exposed tummy underneath my little tube top I wear during these, so I can paint my whole chest. But I'd rate this one, I'd say out of the 3 that I've done, just for like the full costume, I'd rate it second. I think honestly my pop art zombie might have been my best one this year. And then Ursula was really cool, but I just, because of this full commit, I really do like this one. Also, it's 1 a.m. only. It's only 1. I have all the time in the world. I can go shower. I can go read. I can clean this up and not wait till the morning. Guys, I'm gonna be a normal lady tomorrow. I'm gonna be like an actual functioning adult. This is unheard of. What is one to do with that kind of time? I have 2 hours to waste. I hope you enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun. I'm very excited for the special effects look next week. I do enjoy doing special effects, and all my special effects tutorials are beginner because counting this particular time that I'm doing it, I will only have done 3 special effects looks in my life. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, I have a ton, focus. Thank you. I have a ton of like backlogged Halloween looks if you do have an interest in seeing some more face painting. I started my YouTube channel in 2020, so this is now the 4th Halloween that we have gone through. There's all sorts of things to look at, plus all the other ones from this year as well. So if you're curious, feel free to check out that playlist, subscribe so you don't miss next week's video, and I'm gonna get some photos. I'm gonna take this off, and I'm gonna go to bed, because your girl's got time. I've got time. It's not 3 a.m. It's not 2:20 a.m. either, you know? Normally it's like 2:20 when I finish this, and then I still have to shower and take it all off. But like, look at me. It's 1, and I'm ready. In the viewfinder, this is creepy, like. Anyways, bye. Oh, wait, no. Have a great rest of your day, week, month, or year, and I will see you all next time. Bye. That's what I'm supposed to do. Oh my God.